We're back with part 2 of our interview with HASC Chairman Mike Rogers, where we spoke a little bit about what to expect from this year's upcoming reconciliation bill and whether defense is going to be a part of that.
I want to ask you a question about last year's reconciliation process. Just by virtue of that process, the Pentagon had a little bit of flexibility in terms of how they're able to spend that money, but yourself and Chairman Wicker over on the Senate side, you gave the Pentagon a plan of how you would like to see that funds spent. Have you gotten a full implementation plan from the department about where that money is going to be going? And for the most part, is the department following the guidelines that you laid out?
We have not got that spend plan yet. We're supposed to have gotten it last month, didn't happen, supposed to get it this month. What we're being told is that 95% of this second tranche, which is the biggest tranche, is decided, and it's consistent with what we wanted. But I want to see the report, but we intend to hold them to our agreements ahead of time that the spend plan was going to be consistent with congressional intent.
Are you hearing anything about timing for the FY27 budget from the Pentagon? Last year I feel like you guys were put in a tough position, same with appropriators. The budget didn't come out until June. It was kind of unfinished, not the same level of data that you're used to receiving. Any sign that things are going to improve this year?
That's what we're being told. Proof's in the pudding. We'll believe it when we see it. But yeah, we're being told we're going to get the budget in March, and that it will have more clarity. We'll see. I'm optimistic.
1.5 trillion, that's a huge step up even from the 1 trillion from this past year, which was the biggest ever.
Well, as a dollar figure, as a percentage of GDP, we're still at historically dangerously low levels.
Fair enough. But with that additional funding, where would you like to see that money spent?
Several priorities. There's no one single thing that is the most imperative. But what we told the president when we went to see him about raising defense spending is that just in the big programs, and I'm fixing to name it for you, we don't have the money to do the things that need to be done. For example, Sentinel, the replacement of the Minuteman ICBM program. The ICBMs that we have, that land-based leg of the triad, is 1970s technology. We've upgraded it, but still, it's got to be replaced. Monumentally expensive. But the fact is, the triad keeps us out of wars, and it has, and it will continue to. Secondly, the nuclear submarines, the most effective deterrent we have, both Columbia and Virginia class, they're monumentally expensive, and we don't have the money to replace them, particularly at a clip we need to be. Golden Dome, which is the president's, to his credit, has really gotten out in front of. Folks have to understand that these oceans on either side of our coast are no longer the protection they used to be. Hypersonic weapons and cruise missiles have changed the world. We need that defense, missile defense, layered air defense system that is Golden Dome. You're talking about $500 billion is what I think that's going to cost. And then F-47, we have all these big ticket items that we have to do, and you can't do that on $1 trillion budget. You just can't. So that's the sobering side of the story that I think we're going to be able to offer to our colleagues when it comes to getting the votes to do this. If we want to stay free and safe as a country and stay out of wars, we're going to have to make these capital investments.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Golden Dome. I wanted to ask you about that. Your colleagues on the Appropriations Committee have raised some concerns about the level of information that Congress has gotten so far on that program or that collection of programs. Have you been briefed yet on the architecture and the spend plan for Golden Dome?
Yeah, we have. We've gotten 2 briefings so far on Golden Dome. The last one had more fidelity than we had been getting.
When was that?
3 weeks ago,
Okay.
4 weeks ago. It was impressive, but they're still not to the level that we'd like to see them. But in fairness, this is a big project that has just been handed off to the Defense Department to try to construct. So I'm trying to be reasonable to expect them to put together a very complex, exquisite layered air defense system real quickly. But we do need some clarity pretty quickly if they want funding released. So the appropriators are reasonable to ask for this kind of clarity, but I don't think we're quite there yet, and I don't think it's unreasonable what the department's doing as far as its timeline. We've got to get this right, and they're close.
Can you say, what details are you hoping to hear for them, and when are you expecting your next brief?
This is so highly classified, I'm afraid to talk too much about what I know the difficult areas are. I kind of don't want to go to jail, and I don't think I look good in orange. I don't look good in anything, but I especially don't look good in orange.
White and black stripes, not the pattern that you're going for.
Not the pattern I'm going for. So, but literally, it's a very complex program with a lot of classified elements that I just don't want to talk about publicly.
Okay.
But I know what the struggles they're having are.
Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate
Sure,
that.
glad to.